It's good that you're here. In this month's energy update of the Akashic Records, the Akashic Records actually were talking very specifically that this would be a month of focus. Now, what does that mean? What is a month of focus? I didn't know at the beginning of the month, but now we're in the middle of the month, and I kind of need some more guidance on it. First of all, because I seem to focus okay, and at the same time, the moments when I'm not focused seem way more painful than normal. So I was like, why don't I open the records of focus, right? Why don't I open the Akashic Records of focus? I literally go to the Cosmic Library, I open the book, and I'm gonna ask them, what are we humans needed to focus? What is our optimal way of focusing? I think that's one question that I would love to ask. What is one optimal way where we can all learn how to focus? And another thing I would love to ask is, what are some practical ways to focus? How can we focus in a practical way? How can we practice focus so that we can become very good at it, right? I think it's becoming more and more of a superpower these days with a lot of attention grabbing material. I'm actually intending with this YouTube channel to more create a sanctuary of peace, even though some people find me very aspirational with that. I believe it's possible. And of course, I would love to help all of us, including myself, learning how to focus, because it's just so special when you start to really hone in on something. So let me explore this together with you in this video. I'm going to open the Akashic Records of focus, and I'm going to ask them these questions. And most of the time when I ask the Akashic Records a question, there's a whole bunch of information that just runs out of me. So most of the time I ask everyone, because when they start channeling, it's kind of an energy transmission. I will not only ask the practical reasons, I would also love to ask to give all of us some codes, some frequencies, maybe some upgrades to help us focus better. So you might listen to this video and fall asleep, or you might feel very strong energies while listening to this video. No worries, it's all gonna be perfectly fine. That is just the best way of your system kind of integrating the information that has been sent. Because Akashic Record wisdom is, of course, it comes through my mouth, but it's way more an energy transmission that works on a lot of your different energy bodies, not just on your intellect, but on your auric field, your emotional field, your mental field. So when we go into this transmission, you might start to feel weird, and that's okay. Know that after the transmission is finished, you will be perfectly fine and probably upgraded when it comes to focus, when it comes to you paying attention to the things that truly matter in your life. I cannot wait. I record this while I didn't. Normally I record the intro afterwards, but I record this before I do the channel, so I have no clue what they're gonna say. So let's dive in. I'm here with you, diving in together, ready to learn about focus. So let's go. Let's relax. Let's have a relaxed focus for this transmission. Much love. Enjoy. Hello, beautiful dear human. Thank you so much for tuning in to this answer from the Akashic Record of Focus on focus. Now, why does focus have an Akashic Records? And why would you love to focus on an Akashic Record channel of the Akashic Records of Focus on focus? First of all, you must have the feeling that you might want to improve your focus. Maybe you feel distracted. Maybe you feel that your focus is very fast, going from many places at the same time, on hopping on many different branches at the same time, not being able to stick with one thing. Maybe you know what is best for you, but you're not following through because your focus is not there. But by having the feeling that your focus is not there, or by having the feeling that you can lack focus, you, in our opinion, do not see the world in a way that is representative of how it really works. Now, why do we say that? We say that because focus is always active. There is not something that is turning focus on or off. Yes, focus can switch from topic to topic. Focus can constantly switch. And in your eyes, there is definitely a certain level of focus or defocusing. In your ears as well, there is a certain level of focusing and defocusing. But when it comes to the focus, your mental focus, you're always focused on something, even if you're an experienced meditator and your focus is actually on nothingness. You still focus on the nothingness. You still focus on the ethereal space that is around you. So let's start with the fact that you are not broken and your focus is not broken. Your focus is not lacking anything. It's like a laser. And some have trained their laser to turn to one area for a long period of time. And others have a laser that just goes all different ways and in all different colors. Now you would be a great party laser if you find yourself in that. Going, lighting the whole room, shining in all these different colors. Ha! That is indeed something we would love to see. So let's remove all the judgment on your focus to start with. There is literally no other way to change your behavior in focus than by first removing all the judgment. Let's say us again that you are not broken, your focus is not broken. You're always focusing on something. Now you might hear this transmission and there is a thought inside of you that says, oh, I should walk the dog, or oh, I'm hungry. There is a thought that is present in your reality that might stop you from your focus. And you can choose to focus on the thought, or you can choose or keep on focusing what you were intending to do, which is at this moment receiving these energy codes and transmission on focus. This happens constantly, all the time. And people that you consider better at focus are not necessarily better at focus. They're better at not listening to their thoughts that are distracting them from their focus. And so the first thing we want to say to all of you is, let's know that you are always focusing on something. And it's rather becoming aware of the different aspects that pull you focus away and valuing for yourself of these aspects, like needing to walk the dog or needing to have some snack before you continue watching, is of great importance or not. So instead of really focusing, it is actually prioritizing what is important to you. And based on that, constantly paying attention to what is important to you. And if there is an attention-grabbing energy, like a thought, or social media, or a notification on your phone, or a beautiful human that walks on the street, whenever there is a attention-grabbing energy, it is for you a great question to ask, am I here truly to, is that women or is that notification truly more important than the attention that I was paying to that other topic? And therefore, it is really great to start becoming aware of your system and start prioritizing what is of importance to you and what is not of importance to you. Now, let's go through your current day. And you can already have, each day has a couple of moments of where you naturally were able to focus on the things that are important to you. And at the same time, there are the distracting thoughts and the distracting things in your life. Each day has these. Even if you would be in a meditation retreat, your mind will still try to keep your focus away from what is currently the most important thing to you, which is going inward. So there's always a certain dynamic going on between what is truly important to you and what is grabbing your attention away from you paying attention to that importance. Let's become aware of that and take a beautiful big deep breath in. Can you already spot today what has been truly of importance and what has been an attention grabber that was not truly of importance? Maybe you can feel different thoughts of a different quality that always seem important but create a big loop of distraction in your life. Maybe you notice that a friend of yours is always seeking attention, but every time you spend time with that friend, you're kind of bored because the topics are always the same and the friend just keeps on talking and you're just there to be nice and to keep on being friends, but you just feel it's just not of importance. You're wasting your time. Now there is another quality that we like to discuss that we just landed on. You have an innate feeling when something is a waste of your time. It's also really great to listen to this because there is an innate feedback loop in each human being that is greatly helping you in finding the ways that are important to you. Because even though social media and the internet is full of attention grabbing methods and technology and psychology, you will feel after a while of scrolling that it is a waste of time. You will feel after listening to the friends that it just keeps on rumbling about different topics that is a waste of time. You might also feel that you somehow being in a job that is paying the bills, but at the same time is not in your highest fulfillment, at one point becomes a waste of time. You will have that feeling innate inside of you. Now it's a really great, valuable feedback that you have in your system. It is your soul telling, don't focus on this any longer. Don't focus on it. Stop focusing on it and start focusing on things that actually make you excited, make you fulfilled, make you feel happy. There is a certain fear in human beings, and it's greatly present in the collective. And that is that if they stop focusing on the boring things or the things that pay the bills, that somehow their life will go to absolute waste. But what they do not realize is if you have a relentless pursuit and focus on the things that you do love, you will have in no time enough money, enough resources, and enough of all that you want to pay for all the things that need to happen. The bills, the taxes, all the things you don't like will be covered greatly by you pursuing what is truly in your highest. And that feeling of you wasting your time is showing you wrong direction, make a U-turn, or at least change. A U-turn is a drastic turn, but at least change your direction, because the current direction, you really feel you are wasting your time. Can it be that easy? Can it be that easy to just become aware of everything that is grabbing your attention? Prioritizing what is actually important to you? And just keep paying attention on that? And whenever you have a feeling that you're wasting your time, stop with what you're doing and excuse yourself in any way or form that is fitting in that situation, and go back to what is important to you. Is it really that easy? Oh yes. This whole world is designed for it. But also, this whole world is designed for it in such a way that you will have to overcome that part of you that is distracting you. You have to overcome that part of you that wants to keep you away from your purpose. Now, why is that? If that was not there, people would simply all move into their purpose. And you see it with some of the younger generation. They just feel it, they go for it, and at 16 years old, they're already making millions. Whoa, what is that? That's because they are not anymore feeling, and they're not buying into the story that most of human collective is buying into, which is you have to spend time on things you don't like for you to have a decent existence. It is therefore that easy, but it requires a lot of courage, because you're going against that which is generally believed to be true. That you have to be responsible, and you have to save money, and you have to do taxes, and you have to do all of the things. No, only if taxes truly excite you and you would love to play the tax game, go for it. Only if saving money truly excites you, go for it. It's about that thing that truly excites you, and literally remove all the other options away. What starts happening with that commitment and that strong intention, what starts happening is you move forward every day, and it becomes very clear what is in your focus and what is distracting you from your focus. It becomes very clear to you what is important and what is not important when you truly feel into what excites you. Now let's take, for example, this channel. He is at the moment very excited to create a completely heart-led business using spirituality and AI. So he's invested into business. That's a topic that he didn't like 3 years ago, but he is into it now. He's invested into music. He is invested into video editing and in YouTube content creation. And he is greatly passionate about making humans' life easier, and is using his skill of channeling the Akashic Records to help people create a way more easy and beneficial life. Now, these are all beautiful topics to focus on. Wouldn't you agree if this channel would just dive in head on and he spent all of his time developing the skills, learning the things, connecting with people that are already doing this. And he just starts to continue going in that direction. That within no time, he would have a complete catalog of services that people would love to buy, because everything is made with passion and commitment and love. And wouldn't you agree that he is then completely being able to sustain himself with the services he is about to give, to pay for a tax advisor that can do the taxes for him, because that's a topic that he really don't like. It's the fear of fully diving in that has been generally believed to have negative consequences. It's only a negative consequence when you try to jump in, but you're not fully jumping in. Then you become in a very weird state of being. And then people might say, yes, I've tried, but it didn't work. No, you didn't jump. You tried to jump and you were too afraid to jump. Life starts to completely support you if you're here to follow that which you have been given and which is naturally exciting to you, and to share that journey again with humanity in whatever way or form. Become obsessed with what greatly excites you, and through that obsession you will start a beautiful journey, and somehow that journey will reap fruits. You can or catalog the journey, or you can share the lessons, or you can spend 3 months on something, but then you are able to teach it in 2 hours. So you give a lot of humans the beautiful gift of time. That is what's happening when you start to fully jump in to that which truly excites you. And then your focus, that is always activated, will quickly notice what is not in alignment. For example, scrolling Instagram for this channel is not in alignment because he will not learn music, he will not become a better channeler, he will not become a better teacher, his business will not grow, or he will not learn that much new about business. So Instagram is just not a great way to spend his focus, to spend his attention. But sometimes when he's on the toilet, he would love to have some entertainment. And the Instagram icon is there on his screen, and he would love to tap the Instagram thing, almost out of automatism, because it has given him dopamine in the past. He would love to do it again. Now, if you truly find that what we just talked about, this purposeful focus, important, you will catch yourself before you press the Instagram app, before it opens. You will catch yourself. You will be there and you will feel that you need some entertainment, and you are about to go, and your finger is about to open and to unlock the phone, but then you're like, hey, is that truly important to me right now? And as soon as you catch yourself, you can go back to focusing on what is truly important to him right now. Now, one of the things that is truly important to him is to be more aware. So he can, instead of scrolling Instagram, focus on his breath. And in so doing, he creates a different chain of reaction. Because the scrolling Instagram option might have let him be 10 minutes longer in the bathroom than was needed, while focusing on the breath might have his bathroom experience made even more blissful. And after he finished, he knew exactly when he was finished because he was feeling deeply into his breath and into his body. And he thanked his body, gave his body some love, and went back to his computer and asked himself and his heart, okay, what is next to create? Having 10 more minutes of creation, creating more momentum, and whatever have you. In both of these scenarios, the scrolling for 10 minutes or the breathing and moving again to the work at hand, focus is active. It's not that in one scenario the focus didn't work and on another scenario the focus was active. It's not a light switch like we said in the beginning, but it is a laser. And that laser grows whatever you are focusing on, and especially the emotions that it creates. So if your laser is focused on what's exciting you, you create more things in your life that excite you. If your laser is focused on dopamine hits and scrolling and dopamine hits, and just finding a couple of small laughs on a screen, your life will create more cheap dopamine hits. If you are focused on a dilemma in your family that you cannot let go of, and every time you focus about it you feel such a victim, you will only create more victim energy. That's why it is so important to focus your laser on the things that you would love to have in your life. And especially become incredibly clear on what happens, which feelings are produced in your system when you point your focus laser on that. This is greatly important. So we are not exaggerating that there is a laser. You can even visualize there is a huge laser coming out of your head, or is even inside your head, because it can also focus on thoughts and emotions inside of you. And that laser is, for some of you, out of control. But you can take hold of your laser. And you can grab this laser and you can take a conscious decision to steer this laser wherever you start receiving really great, profound feelings, where you start to feel calmer, more peaceful, more empowered, more abundant. Here is a great example of when this channel was in the middle of his transition from going to a full-time programmer in a job he didn't like to what he is doing now, which is sharing this with you. He had a couple of great existential moments. One of which was where he was sitting in nature, in a forest, in the sun. And he was worried how to pay the bills. And he was deeply in his victim emotions. And he was saying to himself, oh my God, I'm an intelligent young man in his early 30s and somehow I cannot make life seem to work. Somehow, every time I try something that I'm truly passionate about, I start to being broke and all of these financial fears come up. And I'm even dragging my girlfriend into this, and she's not able to carry us both financially. And my stupid decision of stopping my job made us both having this incredibly uncomfortable situation, possibly not able to pay the rent in 2 weeks' time. Now, where does he point his laser at that time? He points his laser at a lot of thoughts in his mind. These thoughts are based in victim, in lack, in regret. And also the feelings that are generated are very shameful and regretful when he points his laser to these things. But somehow Spirit whispered something in his ear that changed his focus. And that was, what is abundant right now? And that question was loud enough for him to hear. And then he started to grab his laser that was pointed to all of these regretful topics and thoughts and victimhoods. And he started to look for places that were actually in abundance for him. Even though his bank account was not, he started looking for places that were in abundance to him. And he started to focus on the sun. He was sitting in the sun in the middle of winter. The sun was in abundance. He had a beautiful view. So he had an incredible vista in front of him. So his vista was very pleasing and in abundance. He was living in an amazing city that is full of life, and the vibration of the city is very happy. People are enjoying life a lot in the city he is living. So people that are enjoying life are in abundance. He lives close to the sea, and there are kilometers or miles of beaches in his immediate vicinity. So beaches and the sea, the Mediterranean Sea, is in abundance for him. He was sitting in a beautiful forest. Trees and nature are in abundance for him. And just by pointing his laser to the things that were more in abundance to him, he started to generate a whole new set of feelings. And this whole new set of feelings started to become bigger. And when he walked away from that contemplation, on his way back, all of a sudden 3 new business ideas dropped on his lap, including the YouTube channel that you're watching now. And that could only come because he needed to shift his focus from the regret that was generating more regret to the abundance that was generating all of the sudden business ideas that will literally create in physicality for him a lot of abundance. This is a perfect example, personal, but perfect, about how this truly works. And so, grab hold of your laser. Give your laser a beautiful color. Give it a color that you truly love. And imagine that the inner you is holding that laser, and from now on is pointing that laser only on things that make you feel strong, powerful, peaceful, focused, in purpose, alive, excited, passionate, joyful, appreciative, grateful. Let this laser be focused on the things that truly matter to you. And if there is a thought, this cannot be that easy, we have to also focus on the thing. No, you have listened to that thought for long enough. Let's take a big deep breath in. You have the power over this laser at all times. And this is the most practical thing we can truly say to you. And with this laser, you might look around in your life, in your physical home, and in your digital home, which is maybe your computer or your phone, and see which of the things in your home are actually giving you purpose and all of the emotions we mentioned, or is giving you distraction of that. You might want to put some things away or sell some things that are not in alignment. The same with your phone. You might want to uninstall some of your applications that are only giving you distraction anyway. You can always choose to reinstall them whenever you truly need them. But let's be honest and point your laser to it and see which feelings are generated. You might open your WhatsApp and point your laser to the different groups. Some of these groups you get very happy about. Some of those conversations you love. Other groups you don't even feel great when you look at their logo or you look at the next message. Let that be an indicator to leave the group. Design your life based on what this laser is saying to you. This feedback loop is so beautifully sophisticated in telling you the path that you need to walk. It will give so much fulfillment, so much joy, so much abundance. And it becomes very funny at one point to see these thoughts holding you back. You don't have to listen to these thoughts. They will even become stronger at one point, and they will start really convincing you to look the other way or to point your laser back to Instagram because maybe you're missing out, or point your laser back to watching Netflix because maybe there is a new season that just got released. It doesn't even know if it's truly released. It's just convincing you to go back to your old ways. Now this part of you, you might ask, why is there a part of me that is constantly pulling me away from my focus? Why is that part even designed in the great aspect of life? And we touched upon it earlier a little bit, but we have to make this transmission complete, talk about this. This part of you is incredibly important. This part of you that is distracting you and wanting you to point your laser on the things that truly are not bringing fulfillment. Why? Because if fulfillment was easy, this life would be incredibly boring. If everyone was fulfilled, truly fulfilled, immediately, at one point you will just have nothing to do and everything would be so boring. Now, why do we say that? If you would have a movie and that movie would have constantly happiness, 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 the end, you probably wouldn't love to see that movie again. It is because the movie had some adversity and then people came over it, made it emotional or physical. And because the movie gave you a beautiful roller coaster towards life, a beautiful roller coaster of emotions, or it touched on a couple of really interesting topics, that it created such a journey for you. That's what hooked you, and that's what made the movie so exciting and interesting. because of the plot twist, because of the change in the emotions. Now, this part of you that is here to distract you creates a lot of the emotional change inside of your body and inside of your mind. How does it do that? First of all, it tries to turn your laser the other way. So instead of having excitement and fulfillment and a little bit positive fear of what is going to happen, you will have a difference in emotion. And then you turn back to what is truly fulfills you, and then you get back to distract you. And this creates a beautiful journey. Without that part, you wouldn't have the opportunity to create a beautiful life. You would have nothing to fight for, nothing to overcome. But because that part is there is a energy inside of you that you have to overcome. And every time you overcome it, you get more fulfilled and more confident inside of yourself, and you become truly a better person. Every time you listen to it, you start to stay in the zone where you're currently at. But at one point, that will not fulfill you. And the negative emotions will overcome the positive emotion that the comfort zone creates. And sooner or later, you would love to take another step. Because of this change, your life becomes a great journey. Without this change, everyone would just immediately shoot to ultimate fulfillment and would stay there, and that's it. It would be so boring. So let's value that part is here, because that value, that intrinsic nature of something inside of you that you can overcome and overcome and overcome again, creates why fulfillment is so fulfilling. Why following your dreams is such an exciting journey. It is such an exciting journey because that part inside of you tries to pull you away again and again and again. You will start to feel more powerful and more confident because that part is there. That part is there to make and get the best version out of you, but it does so by constantly distract you. How else would it be able to elicit that best part out of you? It needs to be the most annoying, distracting energy that can be. It needs to be that, because then you can truly prove to yourself and yourself only that you overcame it again. So let's give that part of you that distracts you some love. It's not here in any way with bad intentions. It is here to elicit the best out of you. And as you grow, it will grow too. And it will keep on growing and growing and growing. But at one point, you will have so much proof and you will have so much control over your laser that it truly doesn't matter anymore what it throws at you. You will keep on shining the laser. And not only for yourself, but you will give a lot back to the people, to the community, so they can also become better in shining their lasers to what truly fulfills them. And people that already are at a point, they will just keep on focusing on giving more to people that also want to get to that point in whatever way or form that is. That's why you see many people that have made it now starting YouTube channels to help the people for free to also get there. Now, this is not a YouTube channel of someone who has made it. This channel is actually someone who, together with you, is here to figure it out and is sharing his journey along the way for you, because it might be of service. He can do it by himself, but he knows that sharing, and of course the Akashic Records is greatly pushing him that sharing is the best way to learn, to teach, to grow. So his laser is focused more and more on this. And in so doing, he gets more insights, he gets more joy, he finds new ways to share, he changes his YouTube channel, he finds new way of being of service, he creates better courses, he creates better experiences for people. He starts to collaborate with different beautiful humans that find his YouTube channel early on. And the abundance keeps on growing. But he first needed to point his laser to respect that he has an abundance of sun, and an abundance of sea, and an abundance of friends, and an abundance of a great city with beautiful restaurants, even though he couldn't pay for the restaurants back then. It's all about taking control of that laser and turning it into the reaction, into the direction that creates incredible, beautiful feelings inside of your system. To conclude, we would love for you to take ownership of your focus laser. It's always on, but if you notice that it is going through many places, grab it and find ways to still, if it wants to move, maybe your way is to let it move, but let it move with purpose and intention on the things that truly excite you. If it's hard for you to focus on one thing for a day, maybe you can pick 4 things, and then let your laser dance in between these 4 things. But grab the laser and find out what it is that you would love to grow in, that has always been interesting to you, that always has given energy back to you. Point the laser towards these things. Stop pointing the laser towards things that have the feeling that are wasting your time. The laser, in combination with the feelings that are coming back to you while you are pointing the focus laser, give all the clarity you need to change, to get onto your purpose, to walk the path. It will become easier and easier for you to do so as well, because the social media hype and the AI hype and all of these things will only get louder and louder, and sooner or later your common sense will stop all of it and go inside and see, okay, what is truly important. You can better ask this question today than wait until a big overwhelm hits you. So let's start the journey of focus. Let's start the journey of grabbing your laser, becoming aware of the emotions that are coming back to you, and creating a lot of importance and meaning and value to pointing the laser towards the things that are truly exciting you. Because once you do, every distracting thought becomes an easier challenge for you. And it becomes a funny comedy show at one point inside of yourself, which is a win-win. Because you are focused on what you truly want to do, and the part of you that wants to distract you is just a beautiful, funny voice that tries and tries and tries again, and you're constantly happy and smiling and just constantly say, ha, nice try, that's a good one. Ha, oh, you tried it again, how cute. While you are just centered on that path. We love you, and we hope even though this comes from the 8th dimension, that somehow this metaphor has been practical to you. Let's take a beautiful big deep breath in. We salute you, we greet you and embrace you in the highest love. Not only have we ranted on focus to humans in this session, we also have included quite some energy codes that will make it easier for you to grab your laser and take control over that laser so that you start focusing on the things that are truly important. The whole world will become a more valuable place when you do. So with that, we like to close. Thank you, dear one. We are complete. Wow. That was them on focus. If you have been listening to this session and you actually liked the energy, the clarity, the practicality of it, know that the Akashic Records are also available to you. This is not something that only a couple people can do. Everyone is able to do it, and I have initiated last year, since I started, more than 100 people all being able to successfully do that. And I would love to initiate a lot more people because the energy is just so clear. They're coming from a higher place. There's just so much love. It's so easy for them to hold paradoxes that for our mind is kind of black and white. And they are just like, no, it's both. They always are able to show me a more loving perspective towards life and what I'm dealing with. It's just so beautiful. So if you're interested in accessing the field of the Akashic Records yourself, go to akashicrecordschool.com. I have a beautiful initiation course that is able to guide you through that process, and you will be able to do what I do. And yeah, I would love to definitely invite myself and invite you to grab that laser, right? Wow. I was seeing while I was channeling, I was seeing just literally like a huge laser beam, like kind of a laser beam the size of a human, like almost like a laser cannon, you know. And I was just kind of seeing a little me inside of my head, just like it was kind of a loose cannon, and it just grabbing the cannon was like, we're going this, we're gonna focus on this right now, right? It was really feeling like that. And it was for me a very beautiful visual representation of what they were sharing. Wow. I have no clue where this is going. But I'm very sure if we start to take control over this part, we're gonna have a very great life. And we will always be equipped, and we will always be able to provide for ourselves and for our families and loved ones if we take a control over these essential things that are given to us, like attention and focus. So I hope this was in any way helpful. Let me know in the comments your reflections on this. I always like to read them, and you're giving me so much love, so I also feel very blessed and held by all of you. And I see you in the next one. Actually, I have one more video on focus that I would love to share. It will come soon. It will definitely come in February because this is the month of focus apparently. So I hope to see you then. Please subscribe to watch the next video. And yeah, much love, much focus, much controlling the laser and pointing it to the things that you truly love. Enjoy.